What is happening in the world of news right now? It's moving at lightning speed, and you need to be in the know. Shady Spotlight is your essential pit stop for all the biggest stories that are making waves, shaping conversations, and absolutely impossible to ignore. We're talking breaking updates, hot takes, and the deep dives you won't find anywhere else. Get ready for a rapid-fire rundown that keeps you ahead of the curve. First up, a legendary artist is catching serious attention for his thoughts on what's appearing in our kids' movies. He dropped some controversial opinions that have everyone talking, and we're breaking down exactly what he said and why it's igniting such a massive debate. Is this a sign of changing times, or just one man's perspective causing a stir? We're diving deep. Then, we're shifting gears to a major animation studio's recent film that, despite its buzz, didn't quite hit the mark at the box office. Was it the story, the marketing, or something else entirely? We've got the inside scoop on why this movie might have been a missed opportunity and what it means for the future of big studio releases. Stick around, because you're not going to want to miss a single second of this. Plus, we're tackling the seismic shifts happening with AI technology. Are we on the brink of a new era, or are we heading for a digital Wild West? We're exploring the latest developments and what they mean for you. And finally, we're getting into the nitty-gritty of community conversations, with readers weighing in on everything from housing solutions to critical social issues. What are people saying, and what's the real story behind these discussions? We've got it all right here. Stay locked in, because this is Shady Spotlight, and we're serving up the news you need to know right now. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and join the conversation in the comments below. A legendary artist's controversial take on kids' films. This story dives into the public discourse surrounding a well-known music artist's recent comments about LGBTQ+ representation in children's movies. The artist, Snoop Dogg, expressed his discomfort and surprise during an appearance on the It's Giving podcast, stating that he felt scared to go to the movies with his grandchildren due to the presence of same-sex couples in family-oriented films. He specifically mentioned Pixar's Lightyear, noting that the film's depiction of a same-sex relationship led to questions from his grandchild that he found difficult to address. Snoop Dogg's remarks have ignited a significant debate, with many interpreting his comments as homophobic and out of touch, especially given his status as a cultural icon. Critics argue that his statement minimizes the importance of inclusive storytelling and sends a negative message about LGBTQ+ visibility in media aimed at young audiences. They point out that the representation in question was minimal, with a same-sex couple appearing only briefly in Lightyear, and question why such a small element would cause such a strong reaction. Furthermore, some commentators have drawn parallels to Snoop Dogg's past actions and endorsements, suggesting a hypocrisy in his current stance on what is appropriate for children. They highlight his past promotion of gang culture and controversial dance moves, questioning his authority to police the content of children's media. The backlash has extended beyond social media, with calls for event organizers to reconsider his bookings, demonstrating the wide-reaching impact of his words. On the other hand, some defend Snoop Dogg's right to express his opinion, framing his comments as a genuine concern for age-appropriateness in children's programming, and a reflection of some parents' unease with the rapid pace of societal change being reflected in media. They argue that his perspective, while perhaps unpopular with some, is a valid viewpoint in the ongoing conversation about content in family entertainment. This narrative suggests that the focus on his statement distracts from the broader discussion about parental guidance and the role of media in shaping children's understanding of the world. This situation underscores a broader cultural tension regarding representation in media, particularly for younger audiences. It highlights how even brief moments of inclusion can become focal points for wider societal debates about values, identity, and the role of entertainment in reflecting and shaping societal norms. The differing reactions reveal a deep divide in how different segments of the public perceive the balance between artistic expression, cultural commentary, and the perceived innocence of childhood. But what if the controversy wasn't about the representation at all? Stay tuned as we uncover the real reasons a major animated film became a box office disappointment. Pixar's Lightyear flop, was it more than just a gay kiss? This deep dive examines the critical and commercial failure of Pixar's 2022 film, Lightyear, exploring the multifaceted reasons behind its underperformance, which went largely unnoticed amidst the culture war debates surrounding its brief inclusion of a same-sex couple. While the film's same-sex kiss sparked a significant backlash and led to bans in several countries, including Egypt, Iraq, and Saudi Arabia, the article argues that this controversy, amplified by figures like Snoop Dogg, obscured the more fundamental issues that plagued the movie. Despite being an offshoot of the immensely popular Toy Story franchise, Lightyear grossed only $226 million worldwide, a stark contrast to the over $1 billion each of its predecessors achieved, marking it as an unprecedented flop for the esteemed animation studio. The article posits that the film's premise itself was confusing and poorly communicated. Unlike the straightforward and universally understood concept of what if toys came to life. From the original Toy Story films, Lightyear's explanation that it was the origin story of the human astronaut who inspired the Buzz Lightyear toy was abstract and failed to resonate with audiences. This conceptual muddle was further compounded by casting decisions. The film recast the iconic role of Buzz Lightyear, moving from Tim Allen to Chris Evans, and notably excluded Tom Hanks, whose presence was a significant factor in the original franchise's enduring popularity. These changes alienated longtime fans and failed to create a compelling new connection with a fresh audience. The article also touches upon the broader context of the film industry at the time of its release, including the lingering effects of the COVID-19 pandemic on cinema attendance, which presented significant challenges for any film, let alone one with a convoluted narrative and a departure from established franchise appeal. The narrative that Lightyear failed because of its woke elements, often summarized as "go woke, go broke," is presented as a convenient but ultimately false explanation. The author contends that this framing allows the industry to avoid confronting more difficult truths about audience expectations and the challenges of franchise fatigue. The real lesson, according to the article, is not about resistance to inclusive storytelling, but rather about the fundamental need for originality, clear storytelling, and a deep understanding of what makes a franchise beloved. Disney and Hollywood's reliance on established intellectual property, without ensuring the quality and coherence of new installments, is highlighted as a potentially doomed ideology. The film's failure serves as a cautionary tale, suggesting that audiences are increasingly demanding better, more original content, and that even the most powerful brands cannot guarantee success without delivering on core storytelling principles. Audience impact. Many viewers and critics felt the film's narrative lacked the charm and clarity of the original Toy Story films, while the debate over representation overshadowed these deeper issues. The article suggests this failure highlights a broader trend of audiences seeking more original content over mere franchise extensions. While one movie struggled, another technological wave is dramatically reshaping how we consume information. Are we ready for the AI revolution? The unseen danger, AI-generated content, and the erosion of trust. This piece addresses a growing concern among the public and media consumers. The increasing sophistication and prevalence of artificial intelligence, AI-generated content, and the critical need for clear labeling and regulation. The author, writing in the Reader's Sound-Off section, highlights how AI can now create highly professional-looking text, images, and video that are entirely fabricated, making it nearly impossible for the average user to distinguish between genuine information and deliberate misinformation. This capability poses a significant threat, as it empowers anyone with a creative prompt to generate persuasive yet false material that can spread rapidly across the internet. The article emphasizes that the challenge of discerning truth from fiction is already immense, with many news outlets exhibiting bias, making the task of finding objective, fact-based reporting a daunting investigative effort. The proliferation of AI-generated content exacerbates this problem exponentially. It democratizes the ability to create convincing falsehoods, enabling them to go viral like wildfire. The core argument presented is the urgent need for a legal framework to address this issue. The author proposes that a law should be enacted requiring all AI-generated content to bear a watermark or a similar, clear warning. This would serve as an immediate alert to consumers that the material they are encountering is not human-created. Such a measure is seen as essential for maintaining the integrity of online discourse and preventing the internet from becoming an unchecked tool for deception and dishonesty. By providing consumers with a means to identify AI-generated material, the social media community would at least have a fighting chance to differentiate reality from the imaginary, thereby preserving a degree of trust in the information ecosystem. The piece also touches upon other reader concerns, such as issues with easy pass tolling, opinions on baseball player Anthony Volpe, the importance of post-prison housing initiatives, and political commentary regarding current events and leadership, illustrating a broad spectrum of public discourse and concern. However, the central theme remains the critical importance of transparency in the age of AI to safeguard against widespread deception and maintain a well-informed public. Audience impact. Readers are increasingly concerned about distinguishing AI-generated content from real news, calling for clear labeling laws to prevent the spread of misinformation. This sentiment reflects a broader societal anxiety about the trustworthiness of digital information. But it's not just about what's being created, it's also about how we're talking about it. We're diving into the vocal reactions to a major artist's recent comments. Snoop Dogg sparks firestorm, the culture war over LGBTQ plus kids films. This report details the intense public reaction and cultural debate ignited by rap icon Snoop Dogg's comments regarding LGBTQ+ representation in children's films, particularly his reference to Pixar, Lightyear. During an appearance on the It's Giving podcast, Snoop Dogg stated, "They're putting it everywhere," expressing his discomfort with the inclusion of same-sex couples in family entertainment and his feeling of being scared to go to the movies with his grandchildren. This statement quickly became a flashpoint, reigniting culture war tensions and sparking widespread controversy across social media, fan petitions, and even calls to reconsider his performance bookings. The article emphasizes how Snoop Dogg's seemingly offhand remark, delivered with his characteristic bluntness, resonated far beyond the context of the movie itself. Despite Lightyear featuring only a brief depiction of a same-sex relationship, his words reframed it as part of an overwhelming agenda, shocking fans who viewed him as a cultural elder rather than a censor. The disproportionate impact of his comment, turning a split-second kiss into a major cultural talking point, highlights the power of celebrity in shaping public discourse on sensitive topics. The reactions were sharply divided. Advocacy groups condemned his remarks as regressive and fueling backlash against inclusivity, while some parents echoed his concerns about age-appropriateness in children's media. Critics on platforms like X argued that Snoop Dogg was amplifying negativity rather than representing the views of most parents. This division mirrors broader national fault lines concerning inclusion, tradition, and the evolving landscape of children's entertainment. The ripple effects of his statement were global, with a petition launched in Australia urging organizers to drop him as a headliner for the AFL Grand Final, forcing sponsors to navigate the optics of cultural commentary versus commercial appeal. Industry professionals also weighed in, noting that LGBTQ+ characters in kids' media are becoming increasingly standard, not radical. The controversy generated thousands of petition signatures, trending hashtags, and international headlines, all stemming from a single, widely shared soundbite. Ultimately, the article frames Snoop Dogg's comment as a stark illustration of how celebrity influence can transform a minor film detail into a major international controversy, underscoring the fragility and high stakes involved in discussions about representation in children's storytelling, and how quickly such conversations can escalate into global flashpoints. The differing interpretations of his intent, whether as outdated criticism or genuine parental worry, reveal the complex and often polarized nature of these cultural debates. Audience impact. Snoop Dogg's comments sparked a polarized reaction, with some parents agreeing with his concerns about age appropriateness, while advocacy groups condemned his views as regressive and harmful to inclusivity. These discussions about representation and parental concerns are just one piece of the puzzle. What else is on the public's mind? And that's a wrap on today's Essential Updates. We heard Snoop Dogg's controversial take on kids' films, learned why Lightyear really flopped, tackled the growing concerns around AI-generated content, and saw how public opinion is shaping vital community discussions. Stay informed, stay engaged, and don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more, hit the notification bell so you never miss an update, drop your thoughts in the comments below, and follow us on all our social media channels for even more exclusive content. We'll see you next time on Shady Spotlight.